Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2019. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is, and it truly is a big, bold, and beautiful month, and that is because of eclipses. We're going to have an eclipse season. We're going to have your modern ruling planet moving forward, going direct. And part of this eclipse season includes a brand new eclipse in a brand new part of the sky than you're used to having them, plus the final eclipse in your opposite sign. So there's a lot to talk about here. As we begin the month, about a week into the month is when we will have our first eclipse. It is a solar eclipse and it is a powerful one. It is happening close in the sky with Saturn and Pluto speaking in harmony with Neptune, which promises inspiration. And ultimately, this is a solar eclipse that promises big changes. And for you in particular, given that the solar eclipse is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with karmic closures, understanding what has served its purpose in your life and feeling refreshed and renewed and changed as a result. It has to do with allowing transformation, and part of that transformation means allowing what it is to leave your life in the best possible sense. I see this as a time of wrapping up, but it's a solar eclipse, which has to do with the new and the next. This part of the sky also has to do with karmic reward, and so there's not a whole lot you need to do where it comes to this energy. The best stuff that's going to find you has a way of just showing up for you. I also really love this energy in that it helps you to affirm faith in yourself and in your future. It helps you to remember some wisdom within you that moves you forward, that guides your life, and helps you to understand where it is that you are ready to make some meaningful change. And this change is further affirmed by the fact that we are going to have Uranus moving forward under the light of this solar eclipse. Uranus will be moving forward in a part of the sky that he's been in for the most part since the beginning of the decade. Now, this is the home stretch. This is the final few weeks that Uranus is going to be in this part of the sky, ultimately a very compatible part of your sky. And it has to do with communication of all kinds. And so wherever it is that you've been waiting to get the message or waiting to finally hear from a particular person or hear about a particular issue, where it is that you've been hoping to share, or where it is that you've been hoping to get some media attention as well, which can happen in this part of the sky. Well, you've got lots of cosmic support for that to take place. This can also be some very surprising and ultimately really great news where it comes to a sibling, cousin, or neighbor. And ultimately what this says is that your days, and as you're running around and doing those little errandy things, well, it's about to get a lot busier, but also a lot more blessed, a lot more fortunate for you as well. It is in these random moments that the best news, the best opportunities, the big opportunities to leap your life forward can find you. And that includes messages and those opportunities coming through your emails, your text messages, your social media as well. So make sure you are keeping afloat on your accounts on that front. This can also be the right conversation at the right time that makes all the difference for you. Your awareness of synchronicity will be very high at this time. And given that it's happening hand in hand with a part of the sky that has to do with the things I talked about, a spiritual connection, karmic reward, well, it looks like the information being connected to these attributes is that much stronger. Neptune is moving through a financial part of your sky, so there may very well be some financial blessing that is part of what finds you now. Now, it is as we get later into the month that the energy does change on a few fronts. So one is, well, look, right around the solar eclipse and Uranus changing signs, Venus is going to change signs as well, moving into a very friendship-oriented part of your sky. It is going to be under the light of the lunar eclipse right around the 21st of the month. Under the light of that lunar eclipse happening in your opposite sign, we will also have what astrologers sometimes call the most romantic day of the year, which is Venus meeting Jupiter in the sky. Now, that connection between Venus and Jupiter is happening in a part of the sky for you that is ultimately your home in the sky. So this is a part of the sky that has to do with the things like connecting with friends and groups of people, being involved in groups of endeavors. These are the types of things that tend to be where you're able to shine that much more easily. Well, these are going to be highlighted, and very likely it is going to be as a result of your connection with some group endeavor or your connection with a friend that greater opportunity can find you. The other layer to this as well, because it's Jupiter involved, sometimes this has to do with closure or releasing a certain group endeavor and your involvement in it. However, it looks like it seems like a blessing. You feel like its time has come, and it feels like a healthy and healing closure that is taking place at this time. At the very least, you're going to have lots of opportunities to be social, to see other people, to get together with people, to get together with your friends in a way that warms your heart and just could be a lot of fun. I mean, it could be over the top fun for you at this time if you choose to spend it with friends. Now, the lunar eclipse in your opposite sign will speak to partnerships of all kinds. Ultimately, lunar eclipses represent closures. And so where it is that a certain alliance, for example, a business alliance, has served its purpose, then this could be a time when the two of you decide to part ways in some way. I would invite you, though, to consider to make sure that if it is a business alliance or other partnership, make sure the legal part of it is in place, the document part of it is in place, because later this year, in the summer, we're going to have Mercury retrograde here at the eclipse point, which could bring contracts up for reconsideration. So in order to prevent that, and with all planets going direct by this point, make sure that you have tidied things up well at this time. Having said that, of course, with this energy in your opposite sign, this may very well speak to matters of love as well. Now, you've actually had eclipses in your sign and in your opposite sign for the better part of the last 2 years. And this is the final eclipse to take place in this part of the sky for you for a while. And it has been over the last 2 years that you've come to understand partnerships and love differently than you did before. For some of you, you've been working through these lessons with one particular person. For others, it may have been through different people that you've come to learn about yourself and understand what you want in love differently as a result of the people you've interacted with. Regardless, this is now representing the final lessons for you as part of the series of eclipses that have taken place here. If you are open to meeting someone new, when we have such important lunar activity in your opposite sign, someone is there to help you to understand the lessons that only interacting one-on-one can bring. And this is really about that moment of honesty with yourself, of knowing where you are in love and why. And because it is an eclipse, it can bring with it a sense of karmic timing to this interaction. It is, as I like to say, seeing yourself more clearly as reflected in the eyes of another. And this is going to give you just that opportunity to see yourself differently and to understand where you are in love differently than you did before. Sometimes, yes, this can blossom into something more, especially if there is that friendship connection, then you're also tapping into that Venus and Jupiter energy as well. So it can further and it can grow further from here. Sometimes it may just be a moment that ends up being tremendously meaningful to you. For those of you getting to know somebody, look, this is a lunar eclipse. It is make or break in your opposite sign. Either you're all in or you're all out. And this is where you get a powerful insight into whether or not this is someone that you want to continue walking with. Now, it is very likely that the insights that you need about what decision you need to make occur in the early part of the month, but it is as we get to the lunar eclipse that you are ready to make more permanent changes. But as I said, If you're all in, then you are going to advance this bond. If it is that this is not the right bond for you, you will know that, and you will be willing to change at this time. For some of you, you might even be a little bit surprised. It is an eclipse, after all, that has you seeing things very differently in an instant. And if that's the case, by seeing this person differently, you will, again, be all in, or you will decide to go in a different direction. And this can also apply where it comes to those of you in an established bond as well. If you are in an established bond, it can feel as if it is a consequential moment in that bond. If it is that this is the right bond for you, you will be committing that much more deeply at this time. That is the most likely scenario. If it is that this is not the right bond for you, you'll be able to see that more clearly as well. I think overall, as I look at this energy, given how much love there is in the air, you'll be able to find ways to reach a new understanding and to communicate what it is you need from a place of love. I also think, as I look at this, that there's got to be some change, like something's got to change between you and your partner. And it might just be your perspective or your approach or an insight into how you've been dealing with your partner on a particular matter. It could be that your partner is going through some significant change and you get a chance to realize what it is that they mean to you. And so, yes, with eclipses, sometimes it can feel as if events move very quickly and might have a surprise element to them as well, but ultimately find a way to help you to get more honest and help you to be propelled into your future where it comes to matters of love. What I love about this month for you, well, look, I do love that beautiful connection between Venus and Jupiter. That connection happening in your home, in the sky, essentially. This is a part of the sky that you have a connection to. It just tells me that there are going to be so many people around you, so many people who want to spend time with you, so many people who want to celebrate with you as well. And given that this part of the sky where Venus and Jupiter will meet has to do with larger rewards, sometimes it has to do with the money and the gains that you make as a result of the things that you have achieved and the things that you have established. Well, it tells me that chances are there's going to be a lot to celebrate at this time. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, including the 2019 horoscopes that are on my website now, and so much more, all of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.